Good morning, Dean.
G'day, my name's Dean here from Fifth Gear Motoring. We're representing the Road Ready Centre and Fifth Gear Motoring to develop and deliver a quality course for kids just before they get their driver's licence. Today we are doing 3 different exercises, one including their first time driving with an accredited driving instructor in a dual controlled Mini Cooper. So that's a safe, controlled environment. The second one is a maintenance and understanding all the different things when it comes to insurance, understanding why we have insurance, understanding why we maintain our vehicles. Then the third one is all about the effects of drugs and alcohol on our system when we're actually behind the wheel. Now, this might mean something that's maybe not really relevant now, but unless we start with it right from the beginning to get them to understand the effects of drugs and alcohol, we need to understand that they're going to learn from the beginning, and it's not a later thought. So this program runs for about 3 hours here at Thoroughbred Racecourse. It's a controlled environment, like I said. We've got different stations located around the whole venue, and it's all done by experienced, professionally trained and accredited staff.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dean. So talk a little bit about the relationship between the Road Ready Centre, Fifth Gear Motoring, Revolution Driver Training and also Thoroughbred Park.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Revolution Driver Training, Road Ready Centre, Fifth Gear Motoring and Thoroughbred Racecourse, they all come together with the ultimate goal of ensuring the safe passage from not being a driver to becoming a driver. So it's all about the passion that we all hold together, and it's about safe roads and getting the right start. Where we might have the right start in the past, where there's an opportunity to go drive on a farm with someone or another person that's developed bad habits over the years, this program's developed around making sure that people get the knowledge and experience knowledge from the get-go. We're not doing it later down the track once we've developed those bad habits. And with all the passions of all these people coming together, we've developed a program that has been seen now by well over 600 students, and the benefit is just continuing to build.
Yeah, and it's aimed, or specific, not aimed, but it's really taken up by Marist College, Bergman College and Marist College, and we're hoping to get some other colleges on board.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're currently with a school at the moment and it's not running this program, you need to really look and see where you can redirect funds to this kind of scenario.
Yeah.
We picked up this from other schools where they had other programs where they're putting money into students' exercises that really weren't developing what's going to happen later on in life. It was just a fun exercise to get them going. Now this exercise is exciting for kids. They absolutely love it. But the best thing is we're only really redirecting funds from other school activities that aren't developing lifelong skills. This is a lifelong skill that we can start from the beginning straight away. And other schools have picked up. We've started off with Marist. We're so grateful that Marist gave us that first opportunity. We've moved on to other private schools like Bergman, Marist, and we've got many other schools with interest at the moment. So you would expect that in the years to come that there's going to be 3 or 4 more of these schools doing it.
Yeah, fantastic. And look, it's just awesome that Thoroughbred Park has just made their venue available, and they're just so helpful. So yeah, just a big shout out to the Thoroughbred Park as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks very much, Dean. Thanks for your time, and let's keep on keeping on.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate. So folks, here we are at the first Youth Drive Marist College Day for the year, where we've got Year 9 students who are going to have a driving experience, get some education on road rules and safe driving, plus a mechanical session. So behind me, the first students to go out in the vehicles have just started up, and they're just getting familiarised with the vehicle, and within a couple of minutes they'll go out onto the circuit. We're here at Thoroughbred Park. They'll go out onto the circuit and they'll be driving, and like I've said in videos before, within a couple of minutes they will be cornering, braking. In the manuals they'll be changing gears. They're going to move off and make tight turns, reversing, all sorts of things. It's really amazing to watch how quickly they can get it done. So I'm just going to pause it here and I'll swap the view around. Better do it this way. Okay, so here's the Marist bus that has just dropped the kids off. Now this was an initiative that the Road Ready Centre and Fifth Gear Motoring worked on together to come up with at the request of Marist. They wanted to do a sort of road safety day, and so we came up with the idea of taking them out in vehicles Now these students are unlicensed, so it's private property, of course, so they're entitled to drive. But it's important to understand that they are unlicensed. Most of them have never driven before. Some might have driven on a farm, for example, but generally they haven't driven before. So this is their first go, and they love it. Now Marist College has come on board as well, and they're running the program as well. And Bergman College is about to start this year with it. So it's really exciting, guys. So 5th year motoring do the driving experience, and we do the classroom, the road ready simplest classroom theory. So here we go, first car's away. Well, was going to be away, but he was stopped by the course clerk, or clerk of the course.
Yeah. No.
So maybe this car's going to be the first one to go.
No, next year. No, these guys are all fine. The one that I was showing earlier.
Oh, that one revved a bit high there. Now, one of the great advantages to this day, oh, here we go, first car's away.
Joburn's fine.
I think. Seems to be changing. One of the things I really like about this day is these students, when they go and do their first lessons with their parents, if they go with their parents, they've already driven. Here we go. And he's away. And there's Jess in the back. Jess is with the Road Ready Centre, and she helps to organise the day. And this is her first time out in the car to see what they actually do. Okay. So you can see he's moved off and made a turn using his indicator now as well. So when they go and do their first lessons with their parents, they already know how to drive to a basic level, but the parents don't have to teach them how to move off. They don't need to teach them accelerator control, brake control, that sort of thing. At that starting level, of course, once they get up to higher speeds on the road, there's a bit of that. But it makes life a lot easier for the parents when their children have already had a drive with a professional instructor. So I'm just going to stop it here, and I'll get a little bit more video later. Here's the mechanical session going on.
If you don't have enough oil, you can actually damage it beyond repair. It's really good. Okay. So make sure it's somewhere between the two dots. You also want to check the colour. Yeah. Question. Yes. You'll just have to drain it from the drain plug at the bottom. You know when you drain the oil, so you have to jack it up.
So he's talking about checking oil. That's Tony, very experienced instructor. And then here's the road rules session going on. So they're just doing a written questionnaire, and then Bob, the facilitator, will go through the rules with them and see how much they know. It's always funny to find out the rules that they do know and the ones they're not sure about. I shouldn't say funny, it's a better word is interesting. Marist bus again. That's got to be one of the best advertising things I've seen in the ACT, because you certainly notice the bus. This is Kim. And bit by bit getting the cars going. So this car's about to move off. Beautiful green. There we go, so just on the accelerator control there. And they're away. Okay, so I'll just film a couple of the cars. This is an awesome initiative from 5th Gear Motoring, working with Hyundai Australia. This car is specifically for people that have special needs, and it's fitted out with lots of the technology that is now available to help people with, say they have an arm that's not, fully functional or something like that. So it's got all the different steering controls and braking controls and so on. And with computer technology now, they can even have a device they hold in their hand to steer and brake and accelerate, rather than, you know, having to hold on to or use their feet, for example, for the accelerator. And I should maybe check, they may not be able to steer with it, but they can certainly brake and accelerate with it. So it's a bit like having a control for a computer gaming console. All right, now here's one of our cars. The Road Ready Centre has a driving school called Revolution Driver Training, and that's our wonderful little Suzuki manual, which we purchased from National Capital Motors, and we've just come to an agreement with National Capital Motors about sponsorship of another vehicle that we have purchased that we're going to use for lessons for ageing drivers. So we're doing this program where we're going out to CODA and retirement villages and so on, and doing a presentation for ageing drivers, and then they're entitled to up to 3 free lessons, which aren't really lessons, they're just an opportunity for an instructor to watch them drive, give them feedback, talk to them about, you know, the new technology in cars, which a lot of ageing drivers are not 100% familiar with, and they worry about it a little bit, as you do when you don't understand something and, you know, you're trying to operate it. So it's just to help them out, refresh road rules with them and so on. So this is our awesome little manual sports Suzuki, and it really is a nice little car, and it drives very, very well. Here goes the next person, nice and gentle, a little bit unsure, but he's getting it. There we go. Okay. Now, of course, the vehicles have dual control, so it's very safe. Okay, so to give you a bit of background, the reason we're working with Fifth Gear on this is we've always had a very, very close working relationship with them. They're one of those businesses that is very easy to work with, very professional, always willing to look at what they can do better and how they can help. Our business is exactly the same, and so we're a natural fit working together. I've become very good friends with the owners of the business as well, because we've known each other now for around about 17 years or something like that. So yeah, it's a terrific relationship, and it's led to these types of great initiatives. All right. The other reason we work with Fifth Gear is the instructors are fantastic, and they have enough vehicles to supply to put this many students in at once out on a circuit. When we first came up with the initiative with Fifth Gear, we didn't have a driving school. And so when we did open a driving school, it wouldn't have been appropriate for us to sort of try and break away from Fifth Gear or anything like that. We just want to keep working together with this great partnership. I shouldn't say partnership, some of our competitors get a bit upset with that. It's just working together, that's all. Now this is doing a slalom, and you've got to keep in mind that they've never driven before, so this is a really difficult manoeuvre for them. But that was a good example of how the instructor was able to stop the car when he was starting to accelerate too hard. There we go. So now he seems to be much better under control. Now over here, come this way, we've got a car practicing a straight line reverse, which is one of the competencies they have to demonstrate to get their Ps. Now this, they have to, I think it's 25 metres, they have to reverse 25 metres in a straight line. So you can see this set up here is they have to get it straight, because if they don't, they're off onto the grass. So it's a really good little area to practice that skill. So a car just came around this corner, turning this direction, and as he's come round, he's turned too much and he's gone off onto sort of the grass area here, and the instructors then brought him back. Now, this is one of the advantages of them being able to learn steering in a safe environment like this now. And that's because if that was in a car with mum or dad, that is very likely to have meant they would have gone up the gutter, which does happen. It's low speed and so on, but it can damage your wheel, and obviously can scare the learner driver and make them worried. So we've got an intersection set up here with a stop sign, And you can see the car over here is practicing a 3-point turn. That's the car that did the 3-point turn before. And just in the distance, I'll try and zoom in. No, oh yeah, there you go. In the distance, they're doing things like practicing steering and reversing over in an open area over there. Not sure what they're doing here. And here we've got a car coming up. So that black car there had to give way. And that red car is coming up to a give way sign for a narrow bit of road. So we're making it like a narrow bridge. And here we go, he's moved off. And off it goes. So this car might have been waiting just to get access to the 3-point turn area. So let's see what happens. Oh, here we go, this car had to give way to this vehicle coming up the narrow road. So that's a really good exercise in getting the learner driver to look a long way ahead to see the oncoming vehicle and know that they'll need to slow down and stop if there's a car coming the other way. And that was the purpose of that, actually, of setting that up. So now this vehicle here is going to have a go at a 3-point turn. So the instructor will be talking them through what they need to do. So you can see the red car in the distance understeered and went off out of the lane to the left. So the two opposing cars about to pass each other. There we go, and this car's making left turns. Now, this is a well thought out activity in the sense that the students will do left and right turns, and you know, they've got the stop signs, so they have to give way. They've got the give way sign. Forcing them to look further ahead, reversing, slalom, and so on. So they get to practice braking. Just trying to pick something to. Very exciting to be able to show you a reverse slalom with a Year 9 student who's never driven before. So you can see 30 minutes into the session, the students are doing so much more than they'd be able to do out with their parents with lessons on the road, especially the first few lessons. The parent might be able to take them to a car park later on, but it's a lot further into their learning than when they come into this controlled environment. So yeah, just one of the many reasons I love this program. Look at that manoeuvring between the cars there as well. Okay, so this is a forward. Oh, hang on. What have we got going on? Okay, not sure what's happening here, but this is just a forward slalom. There's another car at the other end of the slalom, that's all. Just working out what they're doing. Okay. Is it time? Sorry, mate. Here we go. So this car's now practicing the reverse in a straight line. Look at that. That would be a pass in that competency in the logbook. Awesome. All right. They've just been given a 10-minute signal. U-turn down the end. Even signalling. Alright, so this driver was about to reverse out when this car was here. So the instructor stopped the car and talked to him about looking more carefully. This is Tristan, the instructor. He's a fantastic instructor. He does a lot of work in different situations. So he's the most common instructor that 5th gear sends us when we do Cert 4 on-road component. So he's taught a lot of instructors himself in the ACT. And in fact, many of the instructors here at Fifth Gear Motoring did come through our Cert 4 course. So it's really exciting to see them here working after putting in a huge effort. It's a huge course to do to become a driving instructor. And so it's very pleasing to see them here, you know, getting work, you know, getting the payoff for all the effort they've put in. I thought I'd get this video because the gentleman's just stalled his car and it happens to have a Fifth Gear Motoring car and a Revolution driver training car pointing towards each other. Just thought it was a good shot.